Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Soulution Live Show. My name is Jody Almond, and I'm excited to be with you today. This is the show where we take you from struggle to success in either your personal or professional life, or both, because I'm always hitting on tips, tricks, teachings, tools, and techniques that can help you find success and even significance in your personal or professional life. So it's great to be with you. TGIF, thank God it's Friday, and thank God I'm favored. Amen. And so with that today, let me jump in and continue from the last time we talked. The last time we talked, I talked about the one of the three characteristics I find in the most highly successful people. And that characteristic I spoke on last time was the characteristic of understanding that you need to be decisive. You need to be ready to make a decision. I didn't get into this yesterday, but a decision means to cut away. If you think about the end of the word, the suffix ION, right? SION, you find that in that suffix, you find it in decide, IDE, you find it in pesticide, you find it in homicide, you find it in genocide. The idea is to kill something. So when you're talking about, I'm going to decide something, you have to kill one thing in order to move towards something else. And when you're deciding on something, for example, I can say I have for dinner two choices, Italian or Mexican. And I have to decide, am I going to eat Italian or Mexican? Now, I guess I could do spaghetti tacos, right? But outside of that, I would have to make a decision. And in making my decision, I would have to kill one of those options on the table so that the other can live. It's the same way about being decisive. We have to decide that we're going to choose right here, right now, in this moment, not another minute, not another day. I have to decide, am I going to let my struggle continue to live, or am I going to kill it and move toward my success? That's what being decisive is. That's what it's all about, is moving away from something that's not so advantageous to you and moving towards something that is more advantageous to you. The second type of characteristic I find in the most highly successful people that I want to share with you today is this idea of being coachable. Now, hang with me, because I've hit on this in previous episodes, but I really want to dive in today. Because when we talk about being coachable, I want you to understand that when I refer to coachable, it doesn't mean that you go out for a team, even though that does illustrate coachability. But what it means is that you're willing to take the advice, take the skill sets, take the tools, take the accountability, and take and execute on what you're being told by your mentor or your coach, and make that happen. Because here's what I know, my friend. I know this. I know that in my whole life, for many, many years, I've always had somebody that was teaching me something. If I go all the way back to my childhood, my mom and dad taught me to walk. They taught me to eat. They taught me to crawl. I went to elementary school. And in elementary school, I learned from my teachers, from my instructors, my mentors, my coaches. I learned from them how to do math. I learned from them how to write. I learned from them how to spell. I learned from them my ABCs. I learned from them these things. My mom and dad at home was teaching me how to ride a bicycle. Then we go to high school. We get through high school and we get a diploma. Then some of us went on to college and we got a degree. And then we go to the job and we get on the job training at each job we go to, because everybody does something different. What I'm trying to tell you is all through your life, you've had a mentor, you've had a coach, but it seems like we all reach a certain point at some point in our life where we feel like we've arrived, where we feel like we've made it to the pinnacle of our life. We don't need a coach. We don't need a mentor. I'm tired of learning. Don't want to learn nothing new. I'm just ready to just enjoy my life, right? But here's the problem, is that even biblically, God tells us that we are to have disciples, that we are to have pastors, that we're to have this and that. So in the spiritual life, God tells us we need mentors, we need advisors, we need leaders, we need guides, we need teachers, right? And if that's the way God set up the spiritual realm of this world, then how much more and how much equally do we need that in the physical realm? We need and always are going to need a mentor. We are always going to need a coach. And so the thing I've learned over the past few years is by me jumping back into that cycle and having people where I'm trying to go that have already arrived there, that can teach me, that can guide me, that can instruct me, that can give me shortcuts and keep me from experiencing the pain, the long nights of agony that they experience, because they can show me a better way to do it, then I'm all for it, my friend. You see, if it wouldn't have been for my coaches, I would not have been able to write Going All In the way that I did. I wouldn't have made it as an Amazon #1 bestseller, barring the grace of God, which it was anyway. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't have had that expertise level. I wouldn't have had that instruction. I can tell you in my business and in what I'm doing as the Soulution Ministries, I would have never, ever, I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing today had it not been for my coaches, had it not been for my mentors in life. In my ministry, had it not been for my pastor, my coach, I wouldn't have been where I'm at in life, my mentor, my spiritual father. And so what I'm trying to tell you is this, is that all through your life, my friend, you're going to need a coach. You're going to need a mentor. And what I have found in the most successful people in life, from those who are just starting to Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, to many, many others, to Michael Jordan, on and on and on. The reason they found great success is because they were willing to be coachable. And let me finish with this today. I mentioned Michael Jordan. Did you know Michael Jordan was a great basketball player? Most people know that. If you don't know sports at all, look him up. He's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest NBA basketball player that has ever lived. The reason I mention that is because Michael Jordan had every skill. He had every bit of talent. He had every bit of grit and grind. And he was playing just as effectively as a human being, as an individual, as always on the court. But yet he couldn't win a championship. But then the Chicago Bulls began to change some things. First of all, they brought in a new coach. Second of all, that coach began to build a new team around Jordan. And what you find is when he got hooked up with his new coach, and when he got hooked up with his new team, Michael Jordan and that team went on to win 6 championships. What happened? Michael Jordan was coachable. Michael Jordan understood that even though he had ability and he had been kind of carrying the team for years, he had to share the wealth. He had to play as a team. He had to go out there and let them execute together. You see, what you have is Michael Jordan also off the court, that he didn't put out publicly for years, hired himself a private coach. So here he's got his team coach, but he's got a private coach that is working with him in strength and endurance. Now, would you think that at the time, for sure, what is considered to be the greatest basketball player of all time would go hire a coach? That's humility, my friend. That's realizing I can stay here and somebody may surpass me, or I can get better. I've not achieved my best yet. Here's my question for you. Have you achieved your best in life yet? You say, no, Jody, I know I haven't. I haven't achieved the greatest things I can do in my life. If I died today, Jody, I would feel guilt and shame. I would feel regret. I would feel all those things. So no, I've not. I would die with regrets right now. I would die saying, you know, Jody, I wish I would have. I wish I could have. I should have, but I can't say I did do everything I wanted to do in life. So yeah, I've not reached my pinnacle. Then have you got a coach is my second question. Have you got a mentor? Where is it you're trying to go? What is your vision? Where is it you're trying to arrive before you leave this earth? Because here's what I know, is that it's possible. But you have to be willing to be decisive, and you have to be willing to be coachable. And if you're willing to be those two things, and by the time I give you the third thing on our next episode, if you're willing to do those 3 things, there's no reason on God's green earth why you cannot move right now in your life. Begin the journey of moving from struggle to success. And that's what I want for you, my friend. I want you to have the rest of your life be the best of your life. That's my desire for you. That's my desire for you. Just this week, I was talking to someone and I said, my heart for you is that I see right now you're in a place of surviving. And many of you are. You're surviving. You're eating. You're living in your home. You're going through life. You work your job, but you're surviving. But I want to move you from surviving to thriving. And thriving is where every day you wake up excited, every night you go to bed fulfilled, all through the day you're making a change in the world and making a difference. And my friend, that's what I want for you. And you may be sitting here right now and say, Jody, I believe my season of that is gone. I'm older. Let me tell you this. I've already shared this, but I'm going to share it again today. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. It doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter what your education level is. It doesn't matter. Kevin Harrington is a college dropout. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, my friend, what you've done in your past. What matters is what you decide right now, and if you're willing to connect with the right person so that they can take you to the next level. That's what matters. And anybody, anywhere, anytime can do that. It's just a matter of making that decision, and it's a matter of moving forward in that path. And I encourage you today, choose today to be the day that you decide, you cut away, you kill some things in your life so that you can move from struggle to success. Choose today to be the day that you decide to do your best to hook up with a coach, a mentor in your life that's already been where you're wanting to go so they can take you. Now, in closing, here's what I'll say about coaches and being coachable is make sure that you ask that person, have you been there? So, for example, I wanted to write a book. So I wanted to make sure the people coaching me had written a book. I wanted to make sure they knew what it was to publish, globally a book. And when I found out they did, I thought, well, if they've done it, they should be able to tell me how to do it. And then if I see they've done it successfully, that is fantastic. That's the kind of coach I want. Then what you have to find is that when I moved into the business world, have these people got, resources they can show me? Can they tell me what they've done? Have they been successful in doing this? Because what you do not want is you do not want a travel agent. You do not want to walk into their Zoom office, right? Or their literal office and have them sit down and say, I know nothing about this place that I'm taking you. I know nothing about the area, but I want to take you there, right? So like if somebody comes to me and says, Jody, can you teach me how to bake the most amazing chocolate cake? I could say yes, just to take their money, but that's not me. But some people are that way, and I'm just telling you. And so what you want to do is say, hey, can you show me somewhere that you have people saying you have the best chocolate cake? Can you show me where you've won awards for your chocolate cake? Can you give me a taste of your chocolate cake? You see what I'm saying? Give me a sample. And what happens is when you find they can't do that, they're a travel agent. They're giving you somewhere and taking you to a destination they've never been themselves. But I tell people, I want to be your tour guide. I want to be the person that's already been there. I know all the hot spots. I know the fastest way to get there, the safest way to get there, and the way that you can have success on your journey when you reach your destination. You see, I want to do that because I've already been there. I've already been all the back roads that don't work. I've already been the roads that are the best way to get there. I've already been the safest routes to get there. I've already been the most successful routes to get there, eliminating and deciding what I would kill and what I would let live, and being coachable and learning from those who have taught me, who have been there before me. You see, I want you to understand that when you find a coach, you want somebody that's a coach that can show you the best way to get there and pull the best out of you. So my friend, those are just two of the three examples of how you want to become more successful in your life. And if you have two of these three characteristics, being decisive and being coachable, you're well on your way. And again, next episode, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to talk about the third one. And I can't wait to share that one with you because that's the one that I find more people than not get hung up on, but I'm going to give you some great tips and resources on how not to. So until tomorrow, till the next time, let's jump in and let's learn how to move from struggle to success by going all in with Jody Almond, right? And so I want you to do that. And as you do that, know this, I want you to be blessed. And I'm always, my friend, praying for your success.